It sort of rehashed old revelations with a new twist. As it turns out, we've apparently been wrong all along. Britain is a nasty, racist hellhole where only magnificent Meghan stood up to all this, and the world's biggest victim.
The California dream is unraveling. Prince Harry is frantically packing his belongings in Montecito, preparing to abandon the multi-million-dollar mansion that was meant to symbolize freedom, peace, and a fresh start. This isn't a casual visit home, nor is it about reconciliation or family healing. It's a desperate escape, a sprint toward the institutional protection he once publicly rejected and mocked. The timing couldn't be worse. Just as Harry prepares his exit, Piers Morgan releases photographs that have sent shockwaves across both sides of the Atlantic. These aren't innocent vacation snapshots or harmless party photos from Meghan Markle's past. They are yacht images that place her within elite circles connected to the world Jeffrey Epstein built and Ghislaine Maxwell controlled. The same social ecosystem that destroyed Prince Andrew's reputation and forced him into exile now threatens to consume Harry's carefully constructed California life. After years of burning every royal bridge, he is now racing back across the charred remains, seeking refuge in the very institution he once called toxic, racist, and cruel. Morgan, never one to shy away from controversy, unveiled this bombshell during a recent interview, revealing details that ignited more than 57,000 complaints to ITV and prompted thousands to demand his termination for daring to question the Duchess of Sussex. The outrage machine kicked into overdrive as social media erupted in defense of Meghan. But the story soon took a chilling turn. Meghan Markle reportedly contacted Morgan's bosses directly, bypassing official channels and her high-powered PR team, attempting to silence a journalist whose questions had become too uncomfortable to ignore. Yet, as Piers himself noted with barely concealed satisfaction, he remains resolutely uncancelled. The reason is clear. The evidence he has meticulously compiled over the years is devastating, and it is only now coming to light. The yacht photographs place Meghan in elite environments that matter greatly in the context of subsequent events. Documented appearances at international Soho House openings, including Istanbul in 2015, where insiders describe her role as social filler. Though the term sounds dismissive, it serves a functional purpose. Attractive, personable individuals who populate rooms before the true power players arrive, setting the scene in spaces where cameras don't reach and paper trails vanish. These images capture international flights, luxury yachts, and constant movement through circles of billionaires, power brokers, and influential figures, repeatedly documented across years and continents. Observers noticed a troubling discrepancy. At the time, Meghan was a supporting actress on Suits, a cable show with a dedicated but modest audience. Her income would have been comfortable, but nowhere near sufficient to fund private jets, luxury yachts in the Mediterranean, five-star hotels across Europe, and continuous access to ultra-exclusive events. The math simply doesn't add up. How could a moderately paid actress afford such a billionaire lifestyle? And where was the funding coming from? Questions remain about who was facilitating Meghan's access to rarefied social circles, typically closed to anyone without immense wealth or exceptional connections. Piers Morgan began connecting the dots that others had noticed, but remained silent about. The lifestyle, the proximity to extreme wealth, the presence in rooms where powerful men relaxed and societal rules seemed suspended. No one accused Meghan of crimes without evidence. Instead, people quietly observed, filed away inconsistencies, and waited. Memory is patient, it archives information until context emerges years later. And when the same woman from the yacht photos appeared beside a prince, adorned with a title, waving from palace balconies, and becoming one of the world's most famous women, those old observations took on explosive significance. Enter Ghislaine Maxwell, currently serving 20 years in a Florida federal prison for her role in grooming young girls for Jeffrey Epstein and his associates. Her social empire is gone, her influence evaporated, her freedom and legacy irreparably lost. With nothing left to lose and potentially something to gain, multiple sources with connections to federal investigators report that Maxwell has begun providing names-specific individuals who moved through the same elite social circles she once controlled alongside Epstein. The Soho House connection is critical. These international private clubs were more than stylish retreats for creatives. Behind the public-facing facade, they served as corridors linking worlds that rarely intersected, creating the infrastructure through which Meghan's world and Maxwell's intersected during those crucial years. These elite gatherings were far from random social events. They were carefully curated environments where Hollywood mingled with international finance. New money brushed shoulders with old aristocracy, and those craving attention met people who avoided cameras at all costs. The rooms were engineered to feel vibrant and alive, with the right energy, faces, and mix of beauty, charm, and discretion. Meghan Markle was flown internationally to be one of those faces, helping create an atmosphere that made powerful men comfortable and generous. The story takes a serious legal turn with the Virginia Giuffre connection. During the civil case that destroyed Prince Andrew's public standing, Meghan's name nearly entered the courtroom, not as a defendant, but as a potential witness. Witnesses aren't accused of crimes. They are individuals who may have seen, heard, or been present during moments of legal significance. Court-related documents revealed 3 reasons investigators considered calling Meghan. She lived in the United States, simplifying jurisdiction. She was described as a close associate of Prince Andrew during a period overlapping with alleged abuse, and she was reportedly present within Jeffrey Epstein's broader social environment during years of criminal activity. Ultimately, she wasn't called the case settled, but the significance lay in the fact that seasoned federal investigators believed her testimony could be relevant. That near miss should have been a massive warning signal, but it was buried beneath media coverage of royal weddings and fairy tale narratives. Now, as Ghislaine Maxwell speaks from prison and Piers Morgan releases photographic evidence, that almost testimony appears less like a narrowly avoided problem and more like a ticking time bomb. Meanwhile, Montecito has become virtually uninhabitable for the Sussexes. This isn't just one issue, it's a catastrophic convergence of failures, each compounding and amplifying the other. Montecito's wealthy neighbors have frozen Harry and Meghan out entirely. Invitations to local charity events have vanished. Dinner parties that once included them quietly removed them from guest lists. And the exclusive coffee shops and boutiques that initially welcomed the couple have become spaces where Meghan reportedly feels judged rather than celebrated. One anonymous local source put it bluntly: "This community has real celebrities who don't create international drama everywhere they go. We value privacy, discretion, and people who contribute positively. The Sussexes brought cameras, controversy, and constant chaos. They're not welcome here anymore." The social exile is harsh, but the financial pressure is even greater. Netflix, which made global headlines with a deal worth over $100 million to the couple, is effectively pulling the plug. Executives are furious that the promised content never materialized in any meaningful way. The documentary series turned into a complaint festival, alienating viewers rather than generating sympathy. Subsequent projects either flopped spectacularly or stalled indefinitely in development hell. Industry insiders report that Netflix is essentially done giving Harry and Meghan additional chances, and the once profitable relationship has soured completely. The financial and organizational pressures on the Sussexes are reaching a breaking point. One entertainment industry source put it bluntly: "The numbers don't lie, and Harry and Meghan simply aren't delivering the audience engagement or subscriber retention that Netflix expected for such a massive investment. They are effectively toxic to the brand." Meanwhile, the Archwell Foundation has suffered a staff exodus that reads like a case study in organizational collapse. 11 experienced professionals, including Executive Director James Holt, who relocated his entire family from the UK to help build the Sussex vision, departed in rapid succession. The head of public relations lasted a mere 7 months. In non-profit and PR circles, such swift departures are an unmistakable red flag. The work environment is intolerable, leadership is dysfunctional, or both. The financial strain is enormous. Their Montecito mansion cost $14 million, with 6-figure annual property taxes and multi-million-dollar security costs, all requiring a steady cash flow that is no longer materializing. Spotify collapsed spectacularly, with executive Bill Simmons famously calling Harry and Meghan grifters, and Netflix is essentially done with them. Book deals and speaking engagements have dried up as public interest wanes and backlash intensifies. Sources indicate Meghan is already researching escape locations, with Texas repeatedly mentioned for its lack of state income tax, while several European countries are reportedly under consideration. Several locations, particularly those offering favorable tax treaties and privacy protections, have reportedly been explored as potential escapes for Meghan. She is desperate to flee the Montecito community that has so thoroughly rejected her, but geographic relocation cannot solve the existential problem she now faces. Piers Morgan's yacht photographs are circulating globally, and Ghislaine Maxwell's prison testimony transcends borders, legal representation, or the number of lawyers on retainer. Adding fuel to the fire, the controversy over Meghan's pregnancies has resurfaced. As questions about her past intensify, Morgan's previous allegations regarding pregnancy inconsistencies are being re-examined with renewed scrutiny. If the yacht story reveals that Meghan carefully managed a public image that conflicts with documented reality, what else might have been theatrical rather than true? Patterns that were once dismissed as isolated incidents now appear genuinely troubling. By contrast, Catherine, Princess of Wales, exemplified transparency, standing outside the Lindo wing hours after giving birth, hair perfectly styled, makeup flawless, holding her newborns publicly on 3 separate occasions, honoring royal tradition, and sharing joyous moments with her supporters. Meghan, however, turned her pregnancies into a shifting narrative, where the plot changed dramatically with each appearance. One week, her baby bump appeared prominent and undeniable, cradled in a distinctive pose recognized by pregnant women everywhere. Days later, sometimes even within the same week, photos showed the bump smaller, flatter, or positioned differently. Her movements reflected extreme caution in some footage, then appeared surprisingly natural in others, patterns impossible to explain through normal pregnancy progression, leaving the public confused and suspicious. Meghan's pregnancy appearances displayed inconsistencies that were impossible to ignore. At times, she moved with ease, climbing stairs quickly, pivoting effortlessly, bending down, and even walking in 5-inch stilettos, while on other days she appeared so heavily pregnant she could barely move comfortably. These dramatic changes occurred within days, sometimes hours, not the gradual progression expected in pregnancy. Claims surfaced that internal royal scheduling documents, circulated among palace staff for security and logistical purposes, conflicted with photographic evidence. Hospital appointments were allegedly logged on days when multiple independent sources photographed Meghan attending public events across London. You simply cannot be in 2 places simultaneously. Either the documents were fabricated or someone else stood in for public appearances, neither explanation reflecting well on those involved. Adding to the confusion was the sudden change in birth plans. Meghan had reportedly expressed a desire for an intimate home birth at Frogmore Cottage, a personal choice many accepted without question. Yet on May 6, 2019, she gave birth at the exclusive Portland Hospital in London completely unannounced and without any explanation from palace communications. No clarification was offered, no mention of medical necessity, and no acknowledgement of the abrupt shift from the publicly stated plans, leaving the public with lingering questions about transparency and truth. The silence surrounding Meghan's pregnancy and the yacht controversy has been deafening, prompting observers to re-examine every prior statement and question how much of the carefully constructed narrative was ever truthful. The Andrew parallel looms large and terrifies Harry. Prince Harry has watched in real time how Prince Andrew's life and career was systematically destroyed, permanently stripping him of his titles, patronages, military affiliations, public role, and reputation, not due to tabloid gossip, but because of sworn testimony. Once Virginia Giuffre's allegations were made under oath, once photographs were authenticated, and once victims spoke in depositions that became permanent legal records, Andrew's carefully maintained public image collapsed completely. This is how scandals end in the legal world, with formal records, depositions, and sworn testimony that no PR team or publicist can erase. Andrew became the cautionary example, a warning that institutional silence and legal maneuvering can protect you for years until one person speaks under oath and the entire shield shatters irreversibly. The parallel to Harry's current crisis is stark. Both he and Andrew were royals with documented social proximity to Epstein circles, present in environments where boundaries blurred and powerful people operated without oversight. Andrew was explicitly named in sworn testimony, leaving an indelible legal record, and Meghan was nearly called as a witness in the very same case. The same victims, the same investigative team with subpoena power, the same access to evidence. The public has never seen. Harry understands better than anyone how quickly a carefully constructed shield can vanish, and he knows that the resources of the royal institution far exceed anything California publicists can provide. No matter how well-connected Hollywood lawyers may be, they cannot match the royal institution's centuries-old machinery specialists who make problems quietly shrink instead of explode. Fixers trained to contain scandals before they ever reach courtrooms where testimony becomes permanent and records never disappear. The royal system has long known how to absorb inconvenient pasts and render them functionally irrelevant. History offers clear examples Harry would know well. Princess Sofia of Sweden had a well-documented background in glamour modeling and alleged proximity to Epstein-linked environments as early as 2005. Yet once she married into royalty, that history effectively vanished from mainstream discussion. Crown Princess Mette-Marit of Norway publicly apologized in 2019 for maintaining a social friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. The apology made brief headlines, then the story closed, and her royal role continued uninterrupted. But this is the critical difference fueling Harry's visible panic and desperate flight back to London. Those institutional protections work before sworn testimony begins, not after. Once federal investigators start asking questions under oath, once depositions are scheduled and subpoenas issued, no palace protocol can put the genie back in the bottle. And that reality leads to the question looming over everything, the one that appears to be haunting Harry as he abandons Montecito in search of institutional shelter. What did you know about your wife's past, and when did you know it? If Harry was aware of the yacht appearances, the Epstein proximity, the elite party circuits, and the unresolved questions surrounding how a moderately paid actress accessed such rarefied worlds, that knowledge changes everything. If Harry knew that a moderately paid cable show actress could afford such a lavish lifestyle and actively helped conceal or minimize that information, he becomes complicit in a cover-up, leaving himself legally vulnerable and morally compromised in ways that could destroy whatever remains of his public standing. If he didn't know if he married blindly, failed to conduct due diligence, or was deliberately misled, then he walked catastrophically into a disaster, now threatening everything he built in California, including his relationships with his children and remaining family connections. Either way, the fairy tale is over. And either way, he needs the institutional protection he spent years publicly calling toxic, racist, and cruel, the same institution he accused of driving his mother to her death, nearly destroying his mental health, and showing no compassion during his darkest moments. That institution is now his only possible shield against what's coming, and he knows it. That's why Montecito is being abandoned, and the California dream he once chased is burning. The evidence is overwhelming. Piers Morgan's yacht photographs showing Meghan in elite circles connected to Epstein's network. Ghislaine Maxwell's prison testimony naming individuals in those environments. Harry's panicked flight back toward UK protection. Unexplained pregnancy inconsistencies. Pre-written birth announcements treated like corporate product rollouts. Buckingham Palace announcement fiascos. The complete Archewell staff exodus, signaling a professionally intolerable work environment. And above all, the deafening silence in response to every specific allegation. Meghan has offered nothing, no statements from her legal team, no spokesperson clarifications, no celebrity testimonials, no legal threats to silence the media. For someone who has historically sued newspapers over unflattering stories, the silence is both deafening and potentially damning. For someone who once had journalists briefing in her favor, who personally contacted Piers Morgan's employers in an effort to silence uncomfortable questions, the silence now is devastating. In the court of public opinion, this kind of silence doesn't read as dignity or restraint, it reads as an inability to deny, an avoidance of questions with deeply uncomfortable answers, and to millions watching, it reads like guilt. Harry's response is even more damaging. The man who built his post-royal identity around protecting his family from false narratives has said absolutely nothing, while detailed allegations about his wife's past circulate globally. If these claims were demonstrably false, logic dictates he would be demanding retractions, unleashing lawyers, and publicly defending his partner's honor. Instead, there is only silence and a hurried retreat to London, toward institutional lawyers skilled in making scandals disappear quietly. The pattern is unmistakable. When powerful people stop talking and start running, truth is hunting them. Yacht photographs paired with prison testimony, photographic evidence aligning with earlier investigator interest, financial collapse coinciding with social exile. The fairy tale doesn't crack, it shatters. Harry either knew and helped conceal uncomfortable truths, making him complicit in a potential cover-up, or he didn't know and was catastrophically deceived into a marriage now threatening everything he sacrificed to build. There is no third option. The institution may protect Harry because he is blood royal, because protecting him protects the crown itself. But history shows the monarchy, does not hesitate to sacrifice outsiders to preserve the bloodline. As Harry abandons Montecito and damaging evidence continues to surface, it is becoming clear this reckoning is not approaching, it is happening in real time. Once testimony is given under oath, records become permanent, discoverable, and impossible to erase. Geographic relocation, ancient protocols, and institutional protection cannot undo what has already been photographed, documented, investigated, and remembered by those with subpoena power. The yacht photos exist. The proximity to Epstein's world is documented. Maxwell is talking. The walls are closing in from every direction. The prince who once promised a life free from institutional control is now fleeing back to the very system he condemned, hoping it will shield him from consequences that are finally coming due. The California dream is over. The fairy tale has shattered. What happens next depends on one question alone. When testimony begins, whose names will be spoken under oath, and who will be sacrificed to protect the crown?